Hello and good morning, everyone. Hello, my friends. Welcome to day number 17 of our 66 days of data with KNIME live stream challenge. 66 days in a row live streams taking you from zero to hero in data science and data wrangling using the KNIME analytics platform. And while we're talking about the 66 days of data, I guess you guys out there are much more better in mathematics than I'm probably am. But if you calculate these days through, you will see that this challenge will end in the weekend before November 14th. And you know what happens on November 14th? November 14th, we will have the KNIME Fall Summit in Austin, in Texas. And I will be there. So if you want to drop by and say hello, just say, hey Phil, I watched your videos or whatever. If you happen to be on the KNIME Summit, which I only can strongly recommend, it's a fantastic event. You learn a lot and you get amazing insights into data science and the KNIME analytics platform. So if you happen to be there, make sure to drop by and say hello. So, what are we going to cover today in day number 17? Well, we continue on our journey through the histogram section, and we're basically going to adjust the component we have created yesterday. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, components and meta nodes, I will link the video somewhere up. No, there, I guess. Always not sure where it pops up on YouTube. And you will have an approach to that video. And that is a very helpful video because components and meta nodes to a certain extent are super powerful in KNIME because they help you as a non-developer building data science apps. So let's quickly switch over to the screen and have a look at today's task. So here we have the website from the KNIME blog, Data Exploration in 66 Days of Data with KNIME. And as always, you can find it in the description down below. It's the very first link. So let's just scroll down to where we are. We are in histograms. And we did all of these tasks. Yesterday we created a component. And today our task is to arrange the histogram nodes in the component composite view using the layout button in the toolbar. That one is a gift from the gods, I can tell you. The layout button is amazing. Add a title to the component via the text output widget node. Reshape the layout of the composite view. So let's quickly head over to KNIME. Let's see how we can approach this. So if you see here, we have basically what we have created yesterday. I just added to the component a small comment saying it's all our 13 histograms. And if we right click on it and look in the interactive data view, you basically see all our histograms once it loads. Takes a moment if it loads for the first time, but then it should come up. So let's just wait here for that moment. Here we go. So we have them, the components for all the different features in our data sets, or for the different columns if you want. So how can we now create the layout button? It's a little bit hidden in KNIME. I personally would love to have it a little bit more prominent, but once you know where it is, it will become your new best friend. So we double click on the component to open it, and here we have basically what we have created yesterday. And once we're in that component, so we're not in the main workflow, this is the main workflow, but we double clicked on this little component node that we created. We could also have said right click component open. This opens basically the next layer. And here we have one thing that is not active in the overall workflow. We have this little buddy here, this little icon. So what we can do if we click onto that is we can create a layout view. And it does not look spectacular, but I can tell you, well, it is. So let me just quickly show you how it works. Basically, you have all the outputs, like the blue widgets here, the histogram views if you want, and you can arrange them in a way you want to. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete all of them. And maybe that's not the most professional way. Others would probably do it better. We also delete these frames, and I show you once it's all cleared up, I show you exactly how you can work with these components. You see, once I delete them, they become available in the left-hand side on the views that I can drag into my layout. All right, so let's just do that. Delete, 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 delete. And I just want to have one row, and then I can start from scratch. All right, so we keep the very first row empty because we also want to have a heading. That's part of today's task. But what we want to do here, for me, for my personal liking, those histograms were a little bit too big. So what we want to do is we want to have 4 in a row. And to do that, we just drag and drop this one here. And now we basically have 4 tiles, if you want, and we can drag and drop the histograms in here, just like this. Just like this. All right, let's do it with the next row as well. We just click it. We can also click it instead of dragging and dropping. And we could, if we want to, also move this down here. So it's a very visual approach to setting up your data app. So let's just add these here in a new row. And I'm not sorting the histograms in any order. One more. So we now have 12. Well, we could now have a look if the duration histogram should be the same size like the others. Then I would suggest we just do it like this. All right, so let me just quickly give you a view how this looks like. We're back in the main workflow. I just save it for security reasons. And what I do is I right click on the component that we have created and say interactive view, dataset histograms. So it should load up. Takes a moment again, because in the backend some kind of HTML is created. And now you see that we have the histograms all in here, right? So one thing we might want to do is, let's just see how we can basically, let's just see, can we, maybe I want this to be a little bit bigger. Maybe I'm thinking, for me, it looked a little bit stretched, and I also do not want to have these how can I say it? These headings here. So let's just go here, right click, interactive view. So you can see here we have basically all the values, but we always have this histogram here. Maybe let's just see, can we get rid of it? Chart title, do we have to set this up? Oh, I know how we can do this. Basically we go into each of these nodes and delete the title. I know that's a little bit tedious work, but this is how we learn together, right? So we just quickly do that. And if you're following along, you probably want to do this as well. So let's just get rid of all these titles, because at the end, what we're looking at, so if it's duration or danceability, popularity, and all this kind of stuff, it is still in there. So we have done it for these ones. Now let's do it for the other ones as well. And you see, changing this makes the nodes yellow again, meaning they need to be executed again. All right. So if you create a data app like this and you copy paste the histograms like I did, I guess 2 episodes ago, maybe you just create one, test your layout and see how it looks. And then you don't have to do this tedious work here. All right, so let's execute and open views. Now this time I do it with right click, execute and open views. I also could have pressed Shift F10 on my keyboard, but let's just do it like this. So it will execute. I take a sip of coffee here. It looks already a little bit better. We at least got rid of these headings, but let me tell you, that is a little bit too small for my liking. Maybe we give it another try. We just go in here, go into the layout. That's also a big advantage of KNIME, I would say, because it basically shows you can play around, test it. That does not look back, well, go back. You don't have to code anything, you drag and drop. And that's also, from my point of view, a huge advantage of KNIME. So let's do it differently. Let's just do 2 per row. Let's just do this one and this one. And let's look for the first row, how it looks. Of course, the overall layout will not look that good right now, but just to see how the 2 histograms look now if we basically have them only 2 in a row. That looks a little bit better for my personal liking. So maybe we just do 2. We see basically the feature that we're looking at here. So I wouldn't spend additional space, quote unquote, to again say this is the histogram of liveness when liveness is already mentioned here. So what we will do is we basically go into the layout again and just do it like this. And you see we drag and drop in between, and then we can rearrange this. Now get rid of this body here. It's empty, we don't need it anymore. So let's put it here. So this visual layout editing is really awesome. Just another one here. And what happens in the background, I can show you also, kind of, what is that? Is that JavaScript? Is that JSON? Or at least these kind of things are created in the backend. So you could adjust it in more detail here if you want to apply code. Well, I don't want to, but you could. I guess you could do things like giving it a background color and this kind of stuff if you want to. I don't want to do it for the purpose of this episode, but if you dive a little bit deeper into it and maybe also look a little bit into the KNIME blog and the KNIME forums and ask questions about it, you pretty surely will find a way how to do that. All right, now let's put it like this. Have a quick look. Say finish. We save it, Control S. And then we have a look at our dashboard, because that's at the end what it is. It's a dashboard again. All right, so let's see. That looks much better. For me, this looks much better. But there was one more task. And the task was add a title to the component view via the text output widget node. So the text output widget node is something, it's a widget like these histograms, and we need to place it within the component. So let's just quickly look for it. Text output widget node, and there it is. So we drag and drop it in here. It does not need to be connected to anything, because all it does is dashboard title, and we might want to give it a little workflow annotation. So I showed you back in day, what was it? Back in day 7, how to do workflow annotations. You just basically right click, new workflow annotation, but we make it a little bit more subtle. I don't want to be at 10, let's maybe just make it 5 and just make it green like this. So we basically do it like this. And we just say dashboard title. Well, is that now redundant? Or maybe we just do it like this, dashboard title. So we go in here, and we can basically give it a title. So let's just say dataset histograms. Let's put it like this. All right, we execute it. All nodes have to be executed, and now we have this one available here as well. So we put the text output widget here, and let's just finish. Oh, I'm sorry, forgot to save. And let's just have a look again at our newly created data app, which now should have a title. Let's just see how it looks. Oh, that's not so nice. That's not so nice. So we would give it a label. So the label would probably the title. Maybe we do it slightly differently. Let's just go in here. I know a little bit at least of HTML. So I just delete this one because I don't want this one. And I just say here, what kind of text format do we have? We could say text, pre-formatted HTML. So I would wrap this into a so-called H3 heading. And quite honestly, guys, yes, I know this is maybe a little bit of coding, but not very much. And if you just spend 5 minutes on a basic HTML text, you will find this nearly everywhere. So that is a heading of third order. So the most important one is heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and so on. So you basically wrap your text within these so-called tags. And you have a start tag here that is opening parentheses, H3 closing parentheses. And you have a closing tag that is the same as the opening one, just with a / in front of it. So if you have no clue what HTML is. So let's just execute and open views. Yeah, I would say that looks much better. And we could now add some text below this as well. So let's just quickly do that, and then maybe we end today's video. We add some text here. Go open up. So we say, and let's make this a little bit more, let's give it a little bit more space here. Histogram view on the current data set and its features. And we wrap this into a so-called P or paragraph text tag. And it's the same logic. You say opening tag is a P and closing is the same one with the /. We still keep it at HTML. This enter description here is just your internal description, what this is all about. So execute, save, and let's have a look at our dashboard again. Interactive view. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad, I would say. So a histogram view on the current data set and its features. We can look through these. We can still interact with these histograms. So just like we could before with the histograms, we could see what the numbers are. We could see what the duration here, or we could hover over it. We could also maximize it and minimize it again. So all the features we had before are still available here. I could also give some labels. I could change the things. These are all things that we could do for each and every single chart. Maybe in this context of having this dashboard, it does not make very much sense, but the features of the histogram node are still available in this dashboard. And now, I'm not sure if this will be covered throughout the remainder of these live challenges. Some amazing things that you also can do. Here we are only consuming content, right? We're looking at the histograms that KNIME created for us. We could also have widgets that interact with our content. Let me just quickly show you. So if we just enter a widget here, we could have basically widgets here where we can choose date or time. If we want to drill down to a certain extent, we could basically enter text. We could upload a spreadsheet file and have then this component do some magic data cleansing stuff around it. We talked about a little bit this yesterday. So this is really powerful because this enables you to build real data science apps. And if you're coming from a finance background like I am, you usually work a lot with Microsoft Excel. So if you want to look at Excel automation, basically putting in an Excel file, let KNIME do the automation stuff, clean up all this stuff, build all these things, format output Excel tables, then automatically write it somewhere, wherever you want, that is probably the way to go. And if you can convince your colleagues to use KNIME as well, you could basically share those workflows with them, put a green annotation just around this specific component, say right click here and upload your file, and you basically have created with the open source software KNIME Analytics platform a free data app that you can share with your colleagues. Of course, that would also work if you have KNIME Server, which is a fantastic online solution. So that basically sums up what we wanted to do today. I just want to have a final look at the challenge page with you. So we basically have done day number 17, a quick outlook. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the KNIME Hub. It's a fantastic platform. And I will also talk to you about a very nice alternative that is out there. And before we close up that section tomorrow, and then we go into data manipulation a lot more. We will look at row filters, row splitters in the next setting, in the date standardization. We will look at string manipulations. We will basically change data. So we will do ETL, extract, transform, and load. So data cleansing tasks. We will have date and time objects before we close. We will extract the year before we close this one. And then we're already more than 3 weeks in. So it has been a fantastic journey already, and the adventure continues. So if you don't want to miss out on this great stuff, if you want to take your data skills, not to say data science skills, but your data skills to the very next level. Get rid of redundant work, get rid of boring stuff, and focus on the stuff you love, and let the machine do the boring part for you. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. We will continue with this amazing live challenge. We will, in addition, of course, there is my KNIME 101 course out there here on YouTube. I will post additional interesting stuff over the coming days, weeks, months. So if you don't want to miss out, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. So that's it for today. I see you tomorrow in day number 18 of 66 days with data using KNIME. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.